What's up, YouTube? Casual Jack is finally back after about a month-long hiatus. Uh, got a setup here I want to show y'all. You might end up liking it yourself. For Space Marines 2, this would be my heavy build. It's probably my favorite class behind the Bulwark and the Assault class. Uh, well, Let's go into the perk tree right here and show you the perks that I have equipped for him for different situations. Then we'll go through my loadout with the weapons. Starting off with the core skills, we got multi-kill class perk. Killing 5 or more enemies with one shot from a multi-meta restores ammo by 1. Fortitude class perk. Health increases by 20%. It comes handy, very handy. Um, Versatility class perk. After switching weapons, your secondary weapon does 20% more damage. The effect lasts until reloading or switching back to your primary weapon. Uh, Team perk. Ammo capacity for all squad members' weapons increases by 25%. It explains itself. Even you take advantage of that one. Next one, gear perks. Uh, Adamant Wheel, class perk. After Iron Halo deactivates, you take 20% less health damage for 5 seconds. Iron Halo's durability increases by 20%. That comes in. It can be clutch times when you're getting bombarded with a bunch of long range attacks. The next one, Brute Force class perk. When Iron Halo is in cooldown range, damage increases by 15%. Explains it again. That's another one. Iron Halo up, you got range. You can take less range damage. Iron Halo's down. While it's in cooldown, your range damage is increased. Uh, Conversion Field class perk in the signature tree. When Iron Halo is active, all squad members within 100 meters regenerates ability charge 50% faster. It's beneficial to your team members, no matter who it is. It can help them, it can get them out of a dire situation they may need. So, talking about them a little bit, this one right here, multi-kill, there's no reason to switch it out for the other two, really, killing 10 enemies rapid. You can get an armor segment by, doing the, oh, God bless, the insta-kill while they're dazed. Then this one, when your primary weapon is out of ammo, killing 10 enemies, you don't really need that. Not for this setup. You shouldn't be running out of ammo that often. If you're running with a good team, they should be helping you find ammo boxes when they run across them, mark them. Yes, everybody needs ammo, but this guy's pretty needs ammo a lot. Ain't even got to read the other two. This one speaks for itself. Health increases by 20%. It's obvious. Then this one right here, the versatility class perk. This is the one I was wanting to talk about. According to which weapon setup you're using, if you're using a multi-meta or the heavy bolter, I always run this one for the simple fact it helps your secondary weapon. And using the plasma pistol, you never have to reload it, so you ain't got to worry about thinking about reloading your weapon and then switching back real quick. I don't always charge the plasma pistol to shoot. It's a situational thing to me. But when I am using the heavy incinerator, you will switch over to this one. The damage of your charged attacks increases by 20%. It helps both the plasma pistol and the heavy incinerator. That'd be the only time you switch. All these other skills, I don't ever switch anything around. This works really well for me. I will be showing some gameplay footage, later on tonight. Plan on doing a live somewhere around 11:30 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, that'll be Friday, September 27th. But anyway, let's get to the weapons and talk about those a little bit and what perks I have on them and why I've got which variant. We're going to start off with loadout 1, which is my favorite weapon, the multi-melta. I went with the one that has, God bless, better fire rate. Sorry, I had to sit there for a second and think about it. I went with the better fire rate over the magazine capacity. Magazine, if you're playing this thing like you're supposed to, you're running into, heavy hordes of enemies of 5+. That is where that first perk comes in. After killing 5 enemies with the multi-melta, you get 1 ammo back. So you shouldn't be running out of ammo in this thing that often, unless you're going against a Terminus level enemy, which nobody can blame you for running out of ammo then. But that is where the plasma pistol will come in, which we'll talk about that in a second. And on the perk tree, I just stayed at the very top, for the ammo reserve for this weapon by 20%. Then killing a Majoris level or higher enemy restores 10% of your maximum ammo reserve. So if you kill 3 Majoris in a shot, you get 30% of your maximum ammo capacity back, which ain't really a lot considering, if it's you only got 10 bullets, it's 3 shots, but then 3 shots can make a difference. Then heavy fire rate increases by 15%. While in heavy stance, do not lose control. After a finisher, your fire rate's increased, so always go for them finishers. While in heavy stance, 15% more damage. Again, heavy stance, 15% more damage. And then after killing a Majoris level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, you don't really do a whole lot of meleeing, so that's insequential. You don't even worry about that one. Maximum ammo reserve of this weapon increased by 20%. And then damage against Tyranid enemies increases by 10%. So that's the reason I went with the whole top row. It just works out for me. Really don't need armor because as you're using the multi-melta, and you're dealing damage to all these enemies, most every small enemy is destroyed within 1 shot, no matter what difficulty you play on. The Majoris level enemies are a little different, but at 0.5 seconds earlier, really don't make no difference. The effective range, don't really need this one because of the version I went with. Then there's also, let's be honest, you're using a heavy, you ain't going in for melee. If you are, it's done got real. And again, I went with the bottom one for the effective range over the other 2. You can go with whatever one you want. Or, I'm sorry, I didn't go for range. I went for fire rate. I'm sorry. I went for fire rate over range and magazine capacity, because, again, you're not running out of ammo much. You've already got 40% more ammo capacity anyway from perks. And having more fire rate can get you out of another dire situation, like if you're getting overrun. Your teammates are down, your last stand, that's it. There has been times that's happened. Pre-patch, after the patch, since they fixed it, I've still ran into those situations. I'm just now having to pick up more health packs now. Let's go over to the plasma pistol. We're all going to go over the plasma pistol once because the setup's obviously the same throughout all 3 of them. This is my favorite pistol, by the way. I went with the rate of fire plasma variant. Because again, I like it. Rate of fire. No, wait, no, I didn't. I went with more ammo. Sorry. More ammo. Because there's just not enough. You will have 177 shots maybe with the plasma pistol with all perks and everything set up. There is times I've started off with 198. I don't quite know why, but I have. On to the perk tree. So I did not even make it into the relic version. Relic perks, they just didn't. You're never dodging with this thing. Pretty much everything. Most Majora's level enemies, you're seeing them before they get to you, so you're able to take them out pretty quickly with the pistol. Charge shots, 10% less heat. It's really not an issue. So went with weapons cool, 15% faster. After killing 10 enemies in rapid succession, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 30 seconds. You're really not killing that many enemies with this thing anyway, but hey. Damage from a charge shot increases by 10%. Damage radius is by 5. That does help out a lot with the smaller enemies. Like, let's say you got 3 of them that's in a circle. Shoot in between all 3 of them, it takes them all out. When before, it would only be 2 of them. Damage increases by 10% against Terminus level enemies, which, just to clarify, Terminus level is a boss type monster. If you're using the Melta, you're going to be using this to fire at said boss from afar. And then when smaller enemies come up, you'll be switching over to the Melta to clear them out real fast. This is a ad clear machine type build. Energy reserve of plasma weapons increased by 5%. Or not 5, Jesus. 20%. Cannot read tonight. That speaks for itself. Charge shots. Shots charge 20% faster. And again, shots charge 20% faster. You will be able to put out some shots with this thing and it will be overheated fairly quickly. But it cools down quite fast. Alright, for the next loadout, you got the heavy bolter. Same, perk tree for the heavy bolter is the multi-melta. I went with, accuracy over all of them. I will repeat this, you do not need magazine capacity on this thing. I'm already pushing right at 700 some rounds. It's insane. But accuracy does help out a lot with the spread. It's a tighter area that spreads in, which from the perk tree does help out a lot also. So we're going to go with weapons cool, 15% faster. After a perfectly timed dodge, the equipped weapon is completely cooled. That has come in pretty clutch a couple times. The maximum ammo reserve of this weapon is 20%. 20% of 600 rounds or 500 rounds is quite a bit. I'm not going to do the math right off the top of my head. Headshots deal 10% more damage. When you're firing at Tyranids, you're going to be going for the headshots anyway when the little ones are running at you. So why not do that one? Even the bigger guys, getting a headshot on, it'll clear them out fairly quickly. Then let's go over. Now here's why I said you do not need more ammo. When your health drops below 30%, your ammo reserve is restored by 25% of the maximum capacity. But it cannot exceed the maximum ammo capacity. Cooldown is 30 seconds. This is, again, one of those things that saved me a lot. I've been about out of ammo. I'm starting to take a little damage, but that's the reason I hold on to my stim packs quite often. As soon as my health drops down below the 30% and I get my health back, pop a med pack, pop the stim pack, and 30 seconds is going to go by pretty quickly. By the time it gets there again, it's going to be on cooldown. Heavy stance, 15% more damage. Heavy stance, 15% more damage. And also in heavy stance, maximum spread decreased by 10%. Again, I'm wanting that spread to tighten up along with the accuracy, and this it is tight. And this weapon already over penetrates anyway. So you can just lay down all kinds of fire for your friends. or your brothers. Then, when this thing's on cool, or this thing needs to be on cooldown, switch over to your plasma pistol, go to town with it for a few shots, switch back over, and it's already ready. When you have low ammo, you do 25% more damage. That you will see a significant difference when you're fighting a boss level Terminus monster. I have melted no the side bosses in matches. I have melted the giant Tyranid that you got to fight in mission 2. Weapons cool 15% faster, and you add them two together, you're doing 35% damage against Terminus level enemies, but not for long because you're probably going to end up being out of ammo pretty soon. Then for this loadout right here, this is the one that I like, the heavy plasma. I did get it all the way relicked out, but it's one of those where you're going to want to just use it on the, for me, the boss level enemies, because yes, you could take your pistol over to the, the bolt pistol, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But I really like my plasma pistol. I can't lie. But in case you do want to use this one, there's the perks that I'm using. I never use this thing, so that's the perks for this. It's not going over the bolt pistol, going over my setups. The heavy plasma incinerator. I went with the rate of fire because it does help out. You could do the magazine capacity, which I'll probably, I'm gonna switch that one. Go for the magazine capacity. The rate of fire for this thing ain't bad as it is. You can still take out quite a few enemies just with a normal shot. But let's get into the perk tree and check out the perks. Common shots generate 10% less heat. After killing 10 enemies in rapid succession, weapons do not heat for 5 seconds. I can honestly say I don't see that happening often. Shots charge 10% faster on a heavy stance. Energy reserve, this is an obvious choice for obvious reasons with extra 20% ammo. While in heavy stance, again, shots charge 10% faster. Health below 30%, shots charge. We're all about charge speed and damage. And then a perfectly timed dodge. 25. You're all about the damage with this thing because it does hit like a Mack truck. And then the last perk. Shots charged generate 10% less heat. That one is very, very nice. It don't overheat quite as often or quite as fast. You're able to get a few other shots on some boss monsters or Majoris level enemies or extremists. And even a fully charged shot from this thing can take out a group of Majoris level enemies just by hitting one of them, and then the explosion from them knocks them all into the finisher stance. Their finisher stance. That way you can go up, you and your teammates can just boom, 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 be done with them. But for the heavy plasma incinerator, do make sure that you switch over to charge attacks increases by 20%. That does help out. 20% damage does make a big difference. But anyway, just to show y'all one more time, we'll go over the perks for the bolt pistol. Just in case, this is the weapon, y'all's weapon of choice. I went with ammo reserve on this one. You can never have too many bullets in a pistol for the relic version, and I have went with the more bullets throughout all of them, the whole level up process. Then I went with damage Terminus level enemies, perfectly timed dodge. You deal 25% more damage. After a gun strike, recoil is reduced by 35%, which that can make a significant difference. For 35 seconds after a gun strike, you can just unload about a whole mag in 5 seconds. Then your damage is increased. Can't ever go wrong. Can't ever go wrong with the magazine increase of 15%. Then restore health by 5% on a cooldown. It's a weapons perk. It's not a bad one to have. Then again, magazine increases by 15%, and then another damage increase. Um, I'm not the best shot in the world, so it's either headshots deal 10% more damage, or just a flat 10% more damage increase all around. I definitely went with this. Then, you can set it up however you want, but this is my setup, and it does work. Like I said, we'll be doing a live tonight, September 27th, starting between 11:30 and 11:30 p.m. 12 a.m. So come check us out. Tell me what you think. How are you liking Space Marines too? What's your favorite class build, or your favorite class? Mine's obviously the heavy. I'm going to be doing a build for each individual class as time progresses. I've already got one more that's almost done. But hey guys, gals, I hope you have enjoyed the video. I will see y'all I'm sorry. Don't forget, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video. Definitely don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. And now, as always, y'all have a good one. Catch y'all later.